What's up, Philadelphia sports fans? I am Anthony Pinto. Welcome to the War Room. We are going to the Super Bowl. Alright, it's a little less hype than last week, but last week's got cut off. You couldn't say it on the VOD, and if you weren't here live, you missed my overexcited intro, where I think I got noise complaints from the neighbors behind me. But fuck them. It's the Super Bowl. Good evening, everybody out there. I'm Anthony Pinto. I don't know if I've said that already. The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. I can't say that enough. Can't stop saying that. But we talked a lot about it last week, obviously. And we'll continue to talk about it this week. And we're a mere days away. We'll be doing a show Sunday. I'm pretty sure of it. Around 3. I'm like 99% sure we'll be doing a show around 3 o'clock on Sunday. It'll be here on Twitch. Facebook shows are dead. They're meaningless anymore. So if I'm gonna do a show to no crowd, I'll do it here on Twitch. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. It's all Eagles. We got Eagles. We got Sixers. Outside of that, there's not much going on. But yeah, again, here we are. Mere days away from the Super Bowl. How is everyone out there doing in chat? I see Joe Hunter's in chat. Hopefully we get a little more going along through the show. But man, it's been a big I just saw breaking news. Hold on one second. Lakers are finalizing a trade for D'Angelo Russell and a three-team deal involving Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's trash. I can't stand Russell Westbrook. He might go into the Hall of Fame someday, which I just don't get. But Russell Westbrook is terrible. I'm literally reading. I got Sixers rumors pulled up in front of me, and I'm literally, as I'm reading Lakers in talks to get D'Angelo Russell, it pops up on my phone, breaking news. But yeah, it's the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's what an exciting time. It's one of we're staring down the face of is this Eagles team going to cement itself in Eagles history? Or is it going to be just yet another team? One win away from that big difference. One win away from what if or one win away to, again, it's history. If this team wins this next game, they will probably go down as the best Eagles team of all time. But they have to complete that task. And I think that is something that more than anything should motivate this team. Look, what more do you need? It's the Super Bowl. It's the reason why you play. You play to get into this game. So what more do you need? But that being said, if you're all out there playing for your if you want, you play for the logo, but you can play a little bit for that name on the back if it means for the good of the front. And if all these guys are thinking, man, I want my name to be in Eagles legacy, you go out there and you win this game. And it's going to be a tough one. As we talked about it last week we didn't even want to talk about the 49ers last week. That game was like a non-issue. And last week we kind of already started talking about the Chiefs, and why not? And this week again, it's all eyes locked in on the Chiefs. And you're going up against Patrick Mahomes, you're going up against Andy Reid, you're going up against Travis Kelce, you're going up against that Kansas City defense, and this is going to be a juggernaut of a match. This is number one seed in the East versus number one seed in the West, and how AFC versus NFC. It's like how much better does this get? As the average fan, you're getting literally the two best teams in football. No ands, ifs, or buts. So if you're the average fan, you have to be pumped for this game. And oh, by the way, if you're a Philadelphia or Kansas City, you have to be going nuts. But this game, in my opinion, is going to be, it's going to go toe-to-toe with the last one that the Eagles were in, where this is two really good teams, and they're going to go out and give it their all. The objective, the task at hand for the Eagles is how do you contain Patrick Mahomes, who is arguably the best improviser as a quarterback ever. Not forget about right now, ever. So you have, what up, Joe? We got both of the Joes in chat. Everything feels good right now. We are indeed Jake Elliott, 4 days away. Hey, Sue took out, that's my boy. Shout out to the bomb player pick of the week. Spoiler alert. Sue had one impact play in that game against San Fran, and it was he took Josh Johnson out of the game, slammed him down. Look, Donica Sue's an enforcer. As long as he does it within the rules of the game, let's go. But yeah, if he wants to get 30 in this game, why not? Get that another ring. I want Donica Sue. Look, as a fanboy, this is. You guys remember how hype I got about Noah Syndergaard? Like, I want Donica Sue to have that ring. I want it. You hold Kelsey down, it's a wrap. Yeah, basically. Because if you hold Kelsey down, you're more than likely holding Patrick Mahomes down. But that's the big one. It's you have to hold Patrick Mahomes down. And then he and Kelsey are kind of one and the same. And the biggest thing that this Eagles team is going to have to adjust on and adjust on the fly is this Eagles team has never faced a quarterback this season quite like Patrick Mahomes. He's one of a kind. The ways that he makes plays on the run, and it's the complete polar opposite as Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts does it with his legs, but he's going to burn people and he's going to take it for the run when he does his thing with the legs. Patrick Mahomes, he scrambles in the pocket to set up the pass. If you look at Patrick Mahomes, rushing numbers throughout his career, you look and you're like, man, I could have sworn this guy is a lot more mobile. Well, he is, but the thing about Patrick Mahomes is he's doing passes like this and left-handed. It doesn't, with his friggin' feet, like, he can get the ball out accurately no matter what he's doing. He can be, like, Joe Hunter's in chat. He's the baseball coach. Like, if one of our shortstops on my team, I know it wasn't me, I never had the arm, but one of our shortstops, if he ever had the ball and was running and threw, that was it for him. He was getting reamed. And it's like, you don't teach things that Patrick Mahomes does, but he doesn't care. He's a friggin' magician. And the things that Patrick Mahomes can do with his legs to set up his arm is incredible. And that is going to be, by far and away, the biggest task for this Eagles team going into the Super Bowl. But by the way, I've been on my little rant there. Let Mahomes run so Reddick does him like Dawkins did the Crumpler. Look, I mean this in the cleanest way possible, but let's test that high ankle sprain early and often. Let's test it early and often. I'm not saying do anything dirty. Test it early and often. You have, and this is why I feel, this is ultimately why I feel good about the Eagles. And look, I'm by no means saying this is a win or an easy win, but my big X factor in this game is that defensive line. And for all the things that I just ranted about Patrick Mahomes, well, he's never faced this defense. He's never faced a defensive line that can line up 5 across, and all 5 of them can and will get after you. So he's going to have to deal with something that, again, no team, quite frankly, no team in NFL history has done. This defensive line is fierce. And the fact that they got the amount of sacks that they got this year as a defensive unit, it's teams are going to try to figure out how they can emulate that as best as possible, but you just have no clue. You just have no clue. So yeah, I think that's going to be the big X factor in this game. It's Hassan Reddick, it's Brandon Graham, it's Ndamukong Suh, it's Jonathan Hargrave, it's Fletcher Cox, it's Roman Quinn. Not Roman Quinn. What the hell's the guy's name? Robert Quinn. I said Roman Quinn, not Roman Quinn. He definitely ain't doing it. But Robert Quinn, if he wants to make like his name known for once this year, now's the time. Joseph Lingval, like, that's the X factor, in my opinion, of this game. If they can... Nothing makes Patrick Mahomes feel uncomfortable, but if you could put him to the ground, if that's what you got to do. If you could force a turnover, all the better. But I think that this is a game where usually I bank, like, oh yeah, you could take an Eagles, they're gonna. I don't know that the turnover is there this game, but then it comes down to Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts has to then take care of the ball on his right. And if you look at his resume in particular this year, Jalen Hurts, he's one of a kind. And even when I wasn't feeling good about Jalen Hurts, I always said one thing: I think that Jalen Hurts has the ability to be a rarity, which is a game manager, but a playmaker. Usually, you're one or the other. Jalen Hurts is both. Jalen Hurts takes what the defense gives him. Oh, and by the way, he's so explosive that usually he can pop one out, whether it be with his arm, which he's proven this year that he can do, or whether it be with his legs. So it kind of comes down to, that's the other, X factor. It's then moving the game into, what Jalen Hurts can read on the defense, which again, we've seen this year that he has put in the work and it's paying off. But when he can read the defense, and when he's kind of slowly picking away at this Kansas City defense, it then comes down to being safe with the ball, which, again, with as much confidence as I do in Patrick Mahomes, I think that because Kansas City's defense isn't as good as the Eagles, this is a game where it might be just a completely clean game from two quarterbacks. Neither of them are 100%, but I think both of them are well good enough to go. You're not going to be hearing any San Francisco excuses out of these games. 38-17, Eagles shoot big red Kool-Aid. Eagles will prove to be the best team in Eagles history. Yeah, and the Hurts contract thing, I don't worry. But again, it's if they win this game, they would go down as the best team in Eagles history. It's you can't talk about it until after this game. But if they win it, I think it's almost a done deal. But yeah, bringing up the Andy Reid thing. Said it last week, but I mean, is Andy Reid not due to get Philadelphia its ring finally? No, we've got one. We got it before him. But is it not? Would it not be just coming full circle if Andy Reid finally gets Philadelphia our ring after all those years of hurt and heartache? And again, if you look and if you watch that game against the Bengals, they burned a timeout in both the first and second half because they didn't have a play ready. How many times did we scream, rant, and rave about that and time management? It still hasn't gone away, and I promise you, Andy, fuck around and find out. Do that against the Eagles. Waste your timeouts against this Eagles team. We are better than the Bengals. We will make you pay. Find out. Oh, 7th and Morris is the parking spot. 2 for 2. 2 for 2 on that one. You gotta start drinking beers at 7th and Morris. I actually was looking through because today is the 5-year anniversary, and I cracked open. I had one Dallas Sucks beer that I saved, and I cracked that one open and drank it on Broad Street. I wish I still had another one, but we'll find the right beer. We'll find the right beer. A lot of people saying Eagles blowout. I mean, look, Eagles fans can have. I don't think either team. No, I kind of said this the last couple of weeks, where why I give the Eagles the edge is I can see the Eagles, a world where the Eagles blow this team out, but not the other. I meant that. I was very right about it on the San Francisco game. This game, and you kind of heard earlier, I kind of gave that same thing, but I gave it towards the Eagles' defensive line in this game. I don't see it being a blowout. It's hard for me to picture a world where either of these teams blow one or the other out because they're both really good. They're both really good teams. So, yeah. I mean, look, it's the Super Bowl. Crazier things have happened. It's football. In those 4 quarters of play, absolutely anything can happen. You can lose both your quarterbacks and then use that as an excuse when you're not prepared. But anything can happen, including a blowout. Including a blowout for both of these. I don't see that happening. I think this is going to be a pretty close game. But, I mean, yeah, this is coming down to the last 2 minutes in the fourth. I mean, the last one that we were in sure as hell did. It came down to the absolute last play. And every time I watch that replay of that last play, the Hail Mary to Gronk, I swear Gronk comes down with it. Or I think there's 1 second left on the clock. Every time, I know what happens. Every time I watch that play, I'm still convinced that Gronk is going to catch it or that there's 1 second left on the play. I remember in the moment just going, is it time? Is it time? Is it time? Like, I must have said it 17 times because I just wanted to believe. Like, I did not believe that there was no time left on the clock at that last play. But yeah, man, we shall see. I got goosebumps. It's the reason why we started this whole thing, is to talk about big moments exactly like this. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And again, make sure you guys tune in Sunday around 3 right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/warroomphilly. Follow us along on facebook.com/warroomphilly. And get that War Room Philly goodness absolutely everywhere if you're catching this on VOD. And we didn't do a super hype Meek Mill intro this time so that I didn't get muted by the copyright police. But I did try to reenact it as best as I could. Although the emotion wasn't quite there as it was last week. When, like I said, I think I screamed loud enough that the neighbors behind me were probably putting in a noise complaint. But yeah, this is going to be a big one. This is going to be a big one, baby. Crazy, this show should be about the NBA trade deadline, but the Eagles are in the fucking Super Bowl. And yeah, by the way, we did announce that there was a trade. D'Angelo Russell went to the Lakers during the show. That broke. But yeah, I mean, there is some there's some Sixers. We can talk a little bit about the Sixers, but by the way, where we at? Where we at on the Sixers? I need a score. I need a score update. $55-59, so it's halftime. Okay. All right, so it's got halftime live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the Sixers halftime live. I guess I can't call it that, because isn't that what they call it on Comcast, or whatever it's called nowadays? Welcome to War Room Sixers. Halftime Sixers live. I'll see myself out. But yeah, getting into, in fact, where's the post on the L Facebook? That's Spanish for Facebook. We can talk a little bit here about this little trade rumor, since you brought it up. Just halftime live. Yeah, that's my co-host tonight, Joe Heston. So we got this one here that we posted about. In fact, got a good amount of comments too, so we can read through them. But this rumor for the Sixers, this, again, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know who Doc Lolan is, but this is a trade that is, it's a rumor. Let's just call it that. Pistons receive Russell Westbrook and picks. Lakers receive Tobias Harris and Furkan Korkmaz. The Sixers receive Nerlens Noel, Marvin Bagley, and Bojan Bogdanovic. What do you guys think about that? There's some Andre Drummond rumors. I guess, does that mean they would ship Montrezl Harrell out? Because it doesn't seem like Doc Rivers likes Trez or B-Ball Paul, and neither do I. Neither do I, to be honest with you. But yeah, there's the Super Bowl. But yeah, the Drummond thing. I mean, so we could talk about that. Let me see here. What is this Drummond? Yeah, so it says here from Keith Pompey, which is a credible source, that the Sixers have had interest in both Nerlens Noel and Andre Drummond. If the price is right, though, so I don't know what that means. But, I mean, Furkan Korkmaz once out. You could, in theory, you would have to trade. All three of those pieces are very expendable. Furkan, Montrezl Harrell, and B-Ball Paul. I've always liked Nerlens Noel. He, out of those three, he is certainly I'd rather Andre Drummond. But Nerlens Noel, you know what you're getting out of Nerlens Noel. You're getting a guy that can rebound. You're getting a guy that's going to play defense under the post. He doesn't have range, but if you want a guy that's going to play inside, that's your guy. And it goes back to one of the first talking points of the War Room, which was, I always saw those two being the centers of the future. I always saw Nerlens being Joel's backup. So I wouldn't hate it. But I understand why you might hate it. That's just, kind of me, the sports fan, talking. Jesus Christ. Every site I go to has got a million friggin' pop-ups. Yeah, the Thibault thing. Pacers, Trailblazers, Bucks, Mavericks, Hornets. Yeah, there's a lot of good teams that want a good player that's getting buried behind a bad... Oh my god, I just drew a blank on his name. PJ Tucker. No, we're not bringing back Okafor. Get the frig out of here. But yeah, the fact that Thibault is getting buried behind PJ Tucker is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, just going back to it with this original thing that we were going to talk about. This deal in particular, it's a little bit. I think Tobias Harris might be the best player out of any of these guys' names. That being said, Tobias and the aforementioned PJ Tucker, they don't fit together. They're both fours. Tobias at the 3 doesn't work anymore. He's too far in. And offensively, PJ Tucker at the 3 or anywhere really isn't working. So if you do this outside of, okay, I'm giving you if you don't like the Nerlens thing, you then have expendable pieces as far as your centers go. But you're getting Bagley, who is he would fill a void that Tobias would cast, and then you have Bohan, who can absolutely drain threes, and I still think that is a big weakness on this team. So I see that, I get that you want Drummond, but man, a backup center is just by far and away the furthest thing that this team needs. And I swear to God, if that's the move that they make, I'm done with this team already. Like, if they go out and, that's the move we made at the trade deadline. We brought Drummond back, and we got Montrezl Harrell out of town. Like, I'm going to lose my shit, because you need to bring in shooters on this team. For the 3rd year in a row, I am saying once again the same damn thing at the trade deadline. Get shooters. Yeah, Bogdanovic can look. I like Bagley. I like Bagley maybe a little bit more than I probably should. But in my opinion, Bagley is he's like the Walmart version of Tobias Harris. I think he's the money deal. You'd have a less years on Bagley. And again, Bogdanovic can just shoot the lights out. And he can move around the court. He would create spacing for this team. It's something that I don't hate. I think that the Sixers should be able to get more for Tobias Harris, though. That's kind of where I'm stuck in. So we'll see. The trade deadline's tomorrow. If anything huge happens, I will try to do like a quick hit here or somewhere. But it's gonna be a tough day for me tomorrow. It's just Thursdays are hell for me with work. That's like the easiest way for me to put it. They're my busy day. So we'll see. But I'm telling you, if all they do tomorrow is get Drummond, I will be livid. I'll be livid. Go out there and get some damn shooters. You do not need a backup center in the playoffs. We've had this conversation. It's great in the regular season. Sixers land Luka. That happens. I'm going ape shit. There will be a show tomorrow if the Sixers land Luka. Okay? I promise you that. But yeah, we'll see, man. I don't see this team making a big splash tomorrow, but Harris, Thibault, Tucker, and Korkmaz for Luka. I don't think the money would work up that way, and then they would have to. I mean, if you're saying there's some back end, sure. Honestly, sure. Let them have fun with the flat earther Kyrie Irving. But let me just check one more thing. So I got a article up. And Jesus Christ. So we got 7 possible trade targets for the Sixers. Number 1, Jared Vanderbilt. Again, power forward center. Drummond, center. Nerlens Noel. So, like, why? Who's watching this team and going, oh, you know what the Sixers really need? A backup center. Like, why? Naz Reid, center. Royce O'Neal, forward. Reggie Bullock, forward. Justin Holiday, guard forward. Honorable mentions. Forward, center, guard. And the guard is Alec Burks, who played here during the end of the process. And Robert Covington, who was the process. This is terrible. That's who the Sixers are going. There will be no show. But, yeah, we can wrap up the Sixers talk. It's the Super Bowl week. It just, since it was brought up in chat, albeit with a bit of sarcasm, if that's the right word, yeah, we talk about it. Sixers' big move tomorrow is trading. Hey, that'll make me happy. That will make me happy. You guys know I've hated Farrakhan Korkmaz since before he signed the 3-year deal. I knew we were in trouble when he signed the 3-year deal. I knew that things weren't going as well as they should have been when that happened, but here we are. Here we are, 4 days away from the Super Bowl. So let's talk again about the Eagles. Give me some bomb player predictions. We got a little bit more time to talk for this Eagles game. And again, for this Super Bowl. And again, 99% sure there will be a show on Sunday, roughly around 3 o'clock. I figure if we could do a show around 3 o'clock, it's like in that pocket where it's like you're not quite at the, your destination for the Super Bowl, but like maybe you're just getting a little itchy and need to talk some sports. What up, Mitch? So yeah, I'm thinking twitch.tv/WarRoomPhilly around 3 o'clock on Sunday for a super show. Hurts rushing for 100 yards. Can I tell you something, Joe? 2 nights ago, Tuesday night, or Monday night, I had a dream. And in that dream, Hurts threw kind of a screen to Quez Watkins, who then kind of bubbled it in towards Jalen Hurts, who was making his way out. They do like a little reverse, and Hurts took it in my dream all the way up the sideline for a huge play. Again, this was just a dream, but that would rack up a lot of rushing yards and go very well towards your point of Jalen Hurts over 100 yards rushing. So if you had a vision too, maybe we both had the same vision, but I saw it. I also have seen, I will not put money out, like maybe some stupid props, but I will not bet on this game just because that's just like a hard rule. I don't bet on the Eagles. I don't bet on my teams. Although I usually just, in the rare times that I do bet, the Super Bowl is the one game I feel like I always do bet on. So it's a little weird now with the Eagles being in it. But man, the prop bet for Super Bowl MVP, Hassan Reddick, it feels really good. It feels really good. Because you don't make money on Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes, right? So like, or Travis Kelce, like So you got to bounce around, and it's like you got to pick those, like, well, who could do this or that, or who could make a game-changing sack or strip sack. And I mean, Hassan Reddick has been that guy. And I got to be honest with you, when I was going around looking for these shirts, I was also looking for a number 7 for myself. I would not have minded that number 7, Hassan Reddick, Temple made. Quez Watkins and Gainwell are going to show out. Gainwell's been running in these playoffs as if he's got beef with Miles Sanders. Let me just put it that way. Like, I ain't trying to start nothing, but Gainwell is like, he is rushing like he's like, I know your contract's coming up, and I'm coming for it. I'm coming for that spot. And I love a little internal competition as long as it doesn't turn into toxicity. But man, Gainwell, look, you guys know, man, Gainwell has been on my team since day one. Draft moment, I was into it. Preseason, I said this Eagles team has the best running back room in the league. I stood by it all year. Joe, you were saying Miles Sanders is my boy, even though I said, nah, Boston Scott or Gainwell are my boy. But I also got Sanders back. Gainwell, look, you guys know I'm big on Gainwell. I think that he has got a skill set that not a lot of running backs have. And it might not be your prototype, but I think that there is room in the NFL for guys like Kenneth Gainwell. And he might be your best in between the tackle runner on this team. It's either him or Boston Scott. And again, that's no disrespect to Miles Sanders. But those two little dudes just squirt up the middle. Sanders does it all, though. Sanders does it all. Gainwell wants to be the main back. That's why. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's a little. He's like, and again, as long as it's not toxic in the locker room, go ahead, show up. And that's the thing about running backs too, is like you can have a healthy 3-man rotation, and I think that that's what the Eagles have found with these 3. And again, next week's show and so on, we'll talk the future of Miles Sanders. I want to live in the moment, though. I don't want to think about next week until Monday. But for right now, I want to live in this team's moment for as long as they can create for us. Because this team has been special this year. And God damn it, let's go finish it off. God damn it, let's go finish it off. Is there really breaking news, Joe? PJ Tucker hit a I'm going to Twitter. Let's go to Twitter to see what happened. Yo, I hate PJ Tucker so much. Yeah, we were talking about that deal, but I love the tweet text that you put up for me, Mitch. Let me pull this closer. Let me get the right read in here. The Lakers have agreed to deal to land Minnesota's D'Angelo Russell, Utah's Malik Beasley. We were just talking about Jared Vanderbilt. That's great. He's not coming to the Sixers. In a trade including Mike Conley Jr. and 3 second-round picks to the Timberwolves and Russell Westbrook and a lightly protected 2027 first-round pick to the Jazz. Also in the deal, Juan Anderson, Damon Jones. That's a pretty big deal, though. Nah, I like that. I like that we had it in much shorter words and nowhere near the detail. So, shout out to Mitch. Say Russell. I hate Russell Westbrook, and maybe it's just because I can't say his name one time fast. Let alone, Let alone 5 times fast. Chat. What the rat book? What the rat book? I had some pickled peppers last night. Peter picked them. But, yeah. It's the Philly thing to hate Russell Westbrook. Is it? See, I just thought yeah, you're right. That's the whole, I hated Russell Westbrook from day one. I hated Russell Westbrook. I said the same things about Russell Westbrook that Joe Heston did about Ben Simmons, like day one. The screwed up thing is Russell Westbrook might make it into the Hall of Fame. I go Murph. Well, Murph? Just getting on, Pinto, you hype? Murph, my level of hypeness for this show, which I was already very hype on, went up at least 15% when you said, are you still hosting? When I knew that you were coming back down, making a trip, I knew it. It's getting weird now. Blake Griffin had 5-3. Dude, I love Blake Griffin. I hate Blake Griffin. Is my Ndamukong Suh, is my Noah Syndergaard. We can never get Blake Griffin though. He's always on a team that I hate. He's kind of my Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard did come to the. I think I know exactly where it's at in my drawer. I don't know where any of my shirts are at, but I know where the Dwight. It's either right there in that drawer, or it's hanging up where it should really be in my closet. I still rock that Dwight Howard jersey. That is like my prized possession. I love my Dwight Howard Sixers shirt, and I won an Ndamukong Suh Eagles one, maybe with a little. But if they. Especially if they win this next one, I will try to go and get an Ndamukong Suh shirt, jersey, anything with the Super Bowl logo on it. Who the fuck cares about Blake Griffin? Yeah, well, we care because he did it against the Sixers. And that's my boy. Go Birds, the only thing to look forward to. Look. The best part about this whole thing is, look, Philadelphia's a sports town, right? We're going to go all in on whatever team is relevant. But at the end of the day, the Eagles and Phillies are like the two main ones. They're the two big guns. We have never... I guess in 2008. We've seen this once in our lifetime. No. Because in 2008, they went to the championship, not to the Super Bowl. So there was only one time where this was even close to this. In 2008, when the Eagles were in the NFC championship game against the... Is it Cardinals? I think that might have been Andy Reid's last NFC championship as an Eagles coach. And then obviously 2008 is when the Eagles won the World Series, or the Phillies won the World Series. Excuse me. Favorite jersey is your Yager. That's a good one. And Joe, you were right. We should have brought Yager back. You were right. Because I remember arguing about that with you. Every now and then I remember to throw you a bone, too. But yes, Joe, you were right. We should have brought Yager back. That's a good one though. It's a good jersey because again, Yager's one of those guys that Hall of Fame. He just if you go professional goals, he is now the all-time leading goal scorer in hockey. Not in the NHL, but in professional hockey. If you count all the goals that he has put up in the Russian leagues. Yager's a Hall of Famer, right? But when you think about the teams that he's played for, they're all our arch rivals. So to get them for that 1 year, and he'd be like, and it was a really good year too. Yeah, Yager's a good jersey to have. And I feel like the jersey, it's like that 1 year guy. Yeah, that's where you go for the jersey. You know, you don't want to spend like $150 on a jersey for a guy that's here 1 year. That's why the jersey's a good item. And then the jersey you can kind of wear a little more relaxed too. You're not worried about it like at work or whatever. But yeah. Hassan Reddick. Okay, this is an Hassan Reddick. I'm going to real. I love Philly. I love the attitude. Philly fans have a reputation of being grimy. You come to our stadium wearing another team's colored jersey, there's going to be a problem, rightfully so. Bringing it to keep that shit we don't want. Yeah. Hassan Reddick's that dude. He's the hero we don't deserve. No, you know what? He's the hero we do deserve. And Mitch, you might not have been in here for it earlier, but we were talking about Hassan Reddick, and I was saying that was one of the items when I went out today. I wanted one of these for the show. I wanted a jersey with the logo, and pretty much anyone was on my list. There was 3 that were number 1, an 11, a 62, and a 7. Kelsey, Brown, or Reddick were my number 1 choice. And just so happened that this was the last extra large at the apparel store that I went to. 60. I think I'm going to get the jersey. I think I'm going to order the silver jerseys. I already have the midnight greens. I have 2 very good midnight green jerseys. Chris Long midnight green with the Super Bowl logo. Then I got the Devontae Smith just standard midnight green. So I'm not a huge fan of these silver jerseys, but the more I think about it, I'm like, they're kind of going to be like a one-off item, and it'll be Super Bowl related. So I might do it. No matter what, I'm wearing my Dawkins hoodie jersey that Jamie got me for Christmas, because that jersey is on fire. So we don't mess with that. That'll be I've worn that for I haven't washed it. Every game for the playoffs. Sam, I know Sam's not in chat because Sam is doing the Wii podcast and we know things, but it still stinks. So I'm just kidding. Flyers, but I don't, come on. Oh, man. I want a Reddick jersey and Kelly Green. That's next year. It's next year. It's happening. Getting a Kelsey and a Graham. Hell yeah. So, chat. I'm seeing the if they wins and this and that. We've got about 9 minutes or so left, give or take. You guys know if you're talking, I'll stay here all night. And if those views keep going up, we're going to stay here until the crack of dawn if we have to. Pinto, I want to be at your bar now. Can we just start pounding drinks until the game starts? No, it really hit me this morning. It's hit me several times, but it really hit me this morning. And then being at work, and I work in retail, and our store is doing like a promotional thing where if you come in wearing Eagles clothes, you get 10% off. So everyone's coming in wearing their Eagles shit, and I got mine on anyway because I do anything I can to avoid the dress code. And it just like, I started watching all of the press conferences from yesterday, all the media day stuff, and I'm just like, I'm back at my desk, and I'm like, I'm ready to run through a wall, and I don't even have rap on. Like, usually when I get that hype, I got Meek on, or like there's some bass pumping. But no, I was just listening to Jalen Hurts speak, and I'm like, this guy makes me want to run through a fucking wall. Let's go. So, Lane Johnson is underappreciated in my opinion. He's a lineman, so it's under. But I mean, I think if you ask most people that know football, forget your average fan who like the Super Bowl will be like the 6th football game that they've watched this year. Forget them. If you ask like the people that are watching the Eagles every week, they'll all say he's a Hall of Famer. So again, it comes down to who you're asking, who's the audience. If it's the average casual, they don't know linemen, especially offensive linemen, because offensive linemen put up no stats. The only thing offensive linemen do that the casual fan notice is get a false start or holding call against them. Casual fan doesn't see the fact that Lane Johnson is... In fact, let's go back. Let me pause. Time out. Casual fan sees Lane Johnson and thinks that guy's jumping off sides. The football fan knows that that Lane Johnson and Jason Kelce are so in sync, and that Lane Johnson learned that timing from another fellow Hall of Famer, Jason Peters. That's what it depends. But Lane Johnson, I mean, it's weird to me, and I almost to the point where I'm like, maybe I'm saying it wrong, but like, in my opinion, we have seen Jason Peters, Hall of Famer, Jason Kelce, Hall of Famer, Lane Johnson, Hall of Famer. That's an insane amount of talent. You don't pump out Hall of Fame talent like that, like nearly in the same time frame as it looks like the Eagles have done. And again, when I say, like, obviously they didn't draft Peters, but he's going to go into the Hall of Fame as an Eagle. But thank you for cueing that random Lane Johnson. I don't know, you sparked something in me there, Joe. That was good. I don't mean to pat myself on the back. I was into that. Crazy how far... Case in point, Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham is again, we're talking 2011s when we're in Philly started. Let's Google, when was Brandon Graham drafted? I think it was 2012. ...2010. So, Brandon Graham was on this team already for a year and might have been one of the sparking points for me to want to start this show. And yes, I was going to get to me being a fan of those Seahawks teams too. That defense, the Legion of Boom. I was relentless. I mean, shit, Merrill Reese was on the Eagles about that. Merrill Reese is never negative about the Eagles on anything. I can't believe they didn't take Earl. Everyone wanted him. And in the short term, they were rightfully so. For like the first 5-7 years of Earl Thomas's... I mean, Earl Thomas was a borderline Hall of Famer. But man, Brandon Graham has withstood the test of time. And Brandon Graham might not be Hall of Fame, but you bet your ass no one ever wears 5.5 again. No one will ever wear 55 again in midnight green. Murph, BG will always have a special place in my heart specifically because of your ass. Because this crazy SOB predicted, and we have fucking video of it. Philly Murph in chat predicted the strips. He's got his phone out during the game, which only you do, and I love it because you capture these moments of us during the game. But he's got his phone out and he goes strip sack. And then it happens, and the video, you can see Sam slams his head into the bar fan. Every time it gets me, Sam just stands up and cracks his head. The fact that you got that in through all of it, that's perfect camera work. It's perfect. Sam hits the chandelier every time. It's like every time I watch that final play of that game, I think Gronk is going to catch it, or I think there's going to be 1 second left on the clock. Every time I see Sam hit his head in that video, it gets me good. It gets me so good. but yeah. I love BG when he went at it with Egon during the Super Bowl season. Yeah, BG's a trash talker, man, and that gets under people's skin, and I love it. That's why I love when Embiid does it. I love it. I love a good trash talker as long as they're backing it up. And he does. BG, that's a good pick for bomb player of the week. I saw some Redick. Redick could be a good bomb player of the week. I kind of got two. But I'm going to go with my fanboy pick. I'm going with my fanboy pick, Ndamukong Suh. I think Ndamukong Suh, Murph, I think if you're going to predict another moment, it's going to be Ndamukong Suh's this time. And if it's not Ndamukong Suh's, I really do think it's going to be Redick. Redick is a very good pick for bomb player of the week. Because again, and this is why I'm going to Ndamukong Suh, I think that defensive line is the X factor in this game. This is going to be a game where we're going to... Oh my God, I'm getting nervous thinking about it. I'm getting nervous thinking about my thoughts. But this is going to be a game where, again, you have the best improviser of all time, Patrick Mahomes. It's really going to come down to quite possibly the most talented defensive line of all time. Quite possibly. To do what they do. And what do? They put the quarterback on his ass. They took 2 out last week. 2 weeks ago. Mahomes will not throw a pick. Yeah, this could be a game where there's no turnovers. This could be a game where one turnover causes the team. I really see it being that close, which is, again, why my pick for bomb player of the week is Ndamukong Suh. Because I think maybe that one play, maybe it's not even a strip. Maybe it's a 4th down. He's going for it, and Suh stuffs him in the middle because you're not Jalen Hurts, and your offensive line is not ours, and we are superior to you in every way in the trenches. And you know Andy's philosophies. His philosophies are still intertwined in this team. You know Andy wants to win in the trenches, and guess what? Our offensive line is better. Our defensive line is better. Bring it. Bring it. Let's play Andy's game. Let's do it. You want to play down in the trenches? We're better. The only way you're beating us in this game is if your boy Pat bails you out. Because if Patrick Mahomes can do his thing, which there's universes that it happens, that's how the Chiefs win this game. But in my opinion, the X factor is this defensive line. And the fact that you just look across 10 sacks, 11 sacks, 14... I'm not going to do it. There's a lot of sacks. I think Travis Kelce gets his. Yeah, it's what's his? How much of his? You saw last week now, albeit they didn't have much of a quarterback, but you saw last week the Eagles figured out how to contain Kittle. Kittle is on par with Travis Kelce. The biggest difference there is Patrick Mahomes is... You guys can't see it. Whereas the San Francisco 49ers level of quarterback, no matter which one of them it was you guys can't say it on the other end. I don't care if it was Garoppolo. All of their quarterbacks sucked this year. Like, they just got by with a good offense. Like, they just got by. You can only burn teams underneath for so long. That's what the Eagles did last year. Hurts will have to be Foles-like Sunday. Nah, Hurts is going to be Hurts-like. But I got you. I know what you mean. But I maybe I just have to argue everything. But no, he's not going to be Foles-like. He's going to be Hurts-like. Because he's going to have to do some plays with, he's going to make plays with his legs when he has to. But in that same vein, yeah, he's going to have to pull some magic out. And again, I had that dream on Monday night where there was that weird... tell you what it is. I had a weird dream 5 years ago about a trick play. It wasn't the Phillies. I didn't dream the Phillies. But I saw something weird in my dream, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it leading up. And the same thing happened this year. This year was clear as day, though. I saw the dream. I woke up, and my heart was racing. But in my dream, and take it as you is, I saw it was a screen to Quez. Quez broke back. Wide receiver reverse. Jalen Hurts just took that bitch and just ran up the sideline. So that's, Foles and Hurts guess. Because, maybe there's a trick play. Philly too. Damn, Mitch. Got me right there in the feels with that one. He said, not only am I going to drop a Philly reference, I'm going to go Always Sunny on your ass as well. I can't see. I don't know how we can eliminate him. So here's how you eliminate Travis Kelce. Well, you don't eliminate him, for one, but how you contain him is you get Avonte Maddox up on him. I would put Maddox on him. I would put C.J. Gardner-Johnson on him. I would dedicate a defensive back to him. And, from there, take it with how you go. Philly Special. It's a name I don't see in chat too often, but I love to say it. What up, Philly Special? Hurts will have to use his legs for sure, but I like our wide receiver matchups. I mean, how could you not? How could you not like our wide receiver matchups? This is a historic pairing for the Philadelphia Eagles. These A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, it's penance. It's karma repaying all of Eagles. It makes me believe in cosmic beings, the fact that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are on this team. Because we have never, outside of 2004, one freaking season with Terrell Owens, we have never seen anything like this. At one point, you could say, but you had Jackson and Macklin. But what did everyone in Philadelphia say about Jackson? Oh, it's 1A, 1B. They're not true number ones. This is 1-1. Like, these two are two bona fide number one wide receivers, and you somehow have them on the same team. Like I said, I can only explain it as cosmic energy seeking us back because of the years of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Nelson Aguilar. If you want to go back to Andy's days, Todd Pigston, James Thrash, Kevin Curtis. Like, it's years of terrible wide receivers. And now you have two of the best that we've ever friggin' seen. So yeah, again, by Fred X, that's my boy. If Howie wins the Super Bowl, he's a Hall of Fame. Yeah. Those wide receivers. I hadn't even scratched the surface. Greg Ward's, like just Rager, like it's old and new. Travis Fulgham. There you go. There you go. Did we say? Yeah, we did. I definitely. Yeah, I had to bring back the couple Andy Reid ones. My headband's flying off, chat. My hair looked really good at the start of this show. Yeah, I said Kevin Curtis too. Come on, there's plenty more that I didn't say. I was talking about Kevin Curtis today because tomorrow I'm wearing weird jerseys to work all week. Today I wore my Kelly Green Mike Vick. Tomorrow I'm busting out. You guys see it once a year. I think tomorrow I'm gonna bust out as long Mac Hollins. That's a good bad. Well, I just brought up my Dorial Green Beckham. That was my guy. I learned a lesson from Dorial Green Beckham. I will never look at someone's combine numbers and have an opinion ever again because of Dorial Green Beckham. Because he was 6'5", he runs the fastest 4.4. Bleep that guy. I learned a lesson from him. That's the best thing I can say about DGB. Is I learned a lesson from him. That's what you got to do when you get takes wrong in sports. You got to kind of look back, you take a lesson from it, and you move on. You know how many of us were wrong about Hurts? Even I went back and I watched some shows of old just because I was like, I got to see how I thought. Because even I felt like, as far as this show goes, I was a little more positive about Hurts. But then I go back and I keep going, but he's got to prove it. I'm like, damn, I thought I was a little lighter on him this offseason, but I really wasn't. But guess what? He had to prove it. DGB sounds like it means something there. It does. You don't want to get DGB'd. The Andrew Bynum. Oh, God. Andrew Bynum. Not on. But yeah, again, guys, let's get in some bomb players of the week. Let's keep them coming. Instead of bringing back these terrible friggin' names. Yeah. Nelson Aguilar had his best season at the perfect time. Hey, I during some like slow weeks in the off season, I think I did the Nelson Aguilar repentance show. It was when we cut JJ Arcega-Whiteside. I said it's time that we all, like, I know that we love the memes. Nelson Aguilar had, I think, 88 yards in the Super Bowl. Let's look it up. I think he had 88 yards in the Super Bowl. Oh my God, chat. Look at how close I was to being the smartest person in the room. Oh, 84 yards. I was so close. Oh, 84 yards in the Super Bowl. I said 88. So yeah. We could still put him in that list. But Aguilar's alright. We gotta... Again, I know we had the memes, but Aguilar's alright. Aguilar won us a goddamn Super Bowl. Alshon Jeffrey, he alright too, even though he was kind of a rat. He also kind of cost... You know what? Alshon Jeffrey... Nelson Aguilar is more alright than Alshon Jeffrey. And you guys know I was kind of high on Alshon Jeffrey. I love me some Alshon Jeffrey. I didn't like the way he left. I didn't like the way out. But Alshon was, I mean, I guess outside of what we have now, Alshon Jeffrey was the closest thing to a number one wide receiver. But even he kind of fizzled out. And again, that drop against the Saints in that Super Bowl in the 2018 thing. It's a close game, man. Close game. Who knows? Maybe Nick Foles takes us back. He was right, though. You're right. He was right. I still don't like the way he went about it, though. I still don't like the way he went about it. But you're right, Joe. He was right. He was right about about Carson Wentz. But yeah, again, bomb players of the week. Let's start getting into the final thoughts. Again, twitch.tv/WarRoomPhilly. You're here now, but in case you're watching it on demand, we will be back here Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern time, getting you a little ready. We'll go probably like 3 to 4. Keith will be in. We'll have some. I'll have a co-host too. So yeah, let's. It'll be kind of like a little bit of a just to get us going. Like I said, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chet. Doesn't it feel like 3 o'clock? Isn't that like a good time to sit down and talk Philly sports for an hour on Sunday? Will you guys come back on Sunday with me? I need to see some yeses in chat. Or drop some emotes if you'll be here Sunday. Because if not, I'll just start getting drunk. Murph, you're absolved. If you're driving down to my house, you don't have to be in jail. Although, if you're bored and you're on the road, we can hop you in. I can get you in on Discord or something. We could pull you up on the phone. We could have you in. But, all right. That's what I like to see. I might be listening live on this. Yeah, that's what I like to see too. Hey, Mert, if you're here, you could be the co-host. If you can I tell you what, if you can get here by 3, I'll pull up a chair. We'll do this. It'll be like the old days, crammed into Greg's spare bedroom. But yeah, get drunk. Yeah, I mean, I might start early Sunday, but I don't really. I can't remember like the last time I was like really drunk. Actually, I was with Murph the last time I was really drunk. I think after that night, Murph, I think that's when I stopped like drinking because I like blacked out and we got all kinds of sloppy. I fell on someone. I threw up on people. That was gross. It was a life-changing night. Sixers going to lose to Boston again. God damn it. Speaking of throwing up. I haven't checked back in on that Sixers box score in a while. Oh my god, 92.85. That's not good. Yeah, I don't. I know that was the last time I got drunk though. It was like the last time I got where I was not there. But yeah, chat. Yeah, like I said, so we'll start wrapping up the final thoughts and the whole nine now. And then Sunday we will do one more show. It's gonna be super. And again, I'm trying to get Keith on scene too, but I got the confirmation that he should at least be on scene. Whether we got his face, we'll hear his voice at least. So Keith will be on, and man, I cannot wait. Today was one of those like days where some days, Chad, I'll be honest, I'll let you behind the curtain. Some days, especially, and all my co-hosts will attest to this, for whatever reason, it's always War Room Wednesday that I get these friggin' migraines. I just want to like ruin my night. So there's a lot of times where before this show, I'm kind of struggling to want to come on. I put Meek on. I got to pump myself up. I got to, because I want to come on here with the right. Today was one of those days where I could not wait to just molest this microphone with my voice waves. Hassan Reddick, and hey, you know what? Tonight's kind of the day you pick two. If that's the case, I'm going Ndamukong Suh and Jalen Hurts. But I love the Devontae Smith. I would like to go Ndamukong Suh, Devontae Smith, because that's probably my two favorite on this team, just fanboy wise. But I'm going Ndamukong Suh, and otherwise, I haven't picked them all year. I have not picked Jalen Hurts as my bomb player all year. I saved it for this game. So they would be my two. And again, Hassan Reddick he's a really good pick. I picked Sue just because it was another one where I hadn't done it. and I realized that I had to take it. Hargrave and Gainwell. Philly special with the nice picks. A.J. Brown and Reddick. Gainwell has... Again, I don't know if you were here, Philly special earlier. Look, I go... Broaden Morris, if you really want to know, because I go down to my... I don't like thinking about what you guys are talking about, but let's take it back. If you guys want to replay it in the past, what I had done for both parades that I've... both of the major parades. I've gone to Nova ones as well. With both major parades, I start it by going down to my dad's shop, 7th and Morris. I park there, do the first rounder for there with my dad, Joe Hunter, and then we walk from 7th and Morris to Broad Street. And it feels it's the shortest long walk that you ever do, because you just have all of the legs in the world when it's a parade. I feel you, Joe. I feel you big on that one. I went into my grandfather's office and sat down after the last win. I feel you on that one. Trust me. So yeah, and it's again, this is why sports is bigger in Philadelphia, and it's because of things like that. It's unifying with family, friends, the whole nine. I have on my wall right over here a picture of Droughty here and my best friend growing up, his mass service card, because I will always remember my memories of my first parade with Marcus, and I look at that all the time because sports it's just bigger here in Philadelphia. So yeah. Give me a sec. But yeah, my uncle's flying up from Missouri. Fuck yeah. I'm pretty sure my one brother is going. He's living in Oregon and he's going to the game. So we're gonna be representing, man. It's gonna get rowdy down there. It's gonna sound like an Eagles crowd. And this is the best thing too, because Kansas City Chiefs fans, they think there's something, right? They gonna learn. They gonna learn when that's wild. If Vinny will be out there, yeah. From according to sources, his job is sending him there as long as he commits 2 more years to Oregon, which again, yeah, dreams and nightmares. If they get to pick what song they come out to, they do that. Well, yeah, you don't have to switch anything up. It ain't Dancing on My Own. That song's dead. That song is dead, dead. So, in my opinion, it's Dreams and Nightmares. It's still what I listen to get me hyped for these shows. I didn't need it today. Last week, Twitch police got to me for playing it, so we ain't gonna do that on the show anymore. They were making it seem like a Casey crowd. Bring it. That's the best thing, because Kansas City Chiefs, best smelling barbecue and or best smelling parking lots, and make that barbecue smell nice. We don't give a shit. We're gonna get into that stadium and make it sound like it's friggin' Philadelphia. I'll commit. That's what I'm saying. You do that. Go Birds. You make those kind of sacrifices when it's for Philadelphia. So yeah. What the hell just happened? Philly special Christmas. Big boys hitting the notes. Yeah, I actually think I got that album still should be coming some point this month. I'd commit to living in Dallas. Like, so I'm saying I'm like, it sounds like a win-win. You got to stay out in Oregon because he'd been thinking about moving either back here or in Colorado. I'm like, you have to stay in Oregon, which I've never been, but it sounds like paradise. And you get to go to the Super Bowl. Win. We all win. So, you know, I just say go for it. And he did. He committed. He sent me a snap yesterday, and he says, the first time I've ever been prepared days in advance to go on a flight, and his stuff was Eagles, Phillies, Eagles. It was just, that's how you go and represent. That's how you go. So, holy crap. It has been an hour and 25 minutes. I love you guys. You guys make time just disappear. I thought I would be doing a 45-minute show tonight, and it's been almost an hour and a half. And that's because you guys just keep the conversation flowing. And I can't thank you enough for that, chat. This is why this is the best corner of Philadelphia sports. I'll say it. I'll take it to my grave. And if anything that I'm just keeping this thing alive, it's not, it's you guys. Like I said, there's a show Sunday because you guys all said you'd be here. So make sure you're right here. Twitch.tv/WarRoomPhilly. Follow us, Facebook.com/WarRoomPhilly. Turn notifications on everywhere. I don't try to over pollute. So if you can throw me a bone by trying to follow us as hard as you can, because I know Facebook and these algorithms be out there these days in the streets, but help me out by getting around the algorithm. You know, if you watch it on YouTube, go ahead and maybe give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and drop us a Go Birds in the comments. Share. Help this community grow a little bit bigger every week. That's all we ask. But again, thank you guys all for tuning in. This has been on. These are the shows I dream about, though, and talking about the Eagles and the Super Bowl. That's why we're going to do another one, in fact. One more show before this whole thing happens. I'd be in a lot more, but I don't see notifications a lot. So, I don't know how to fix that part, but we usually are live Wednesday nights. That being said, I appreciate absolutely every time you can and do show up, Philly Special, because every single viewer in this chat, look, if you get in the chat, you get recognized. That's how it is. You guys know, if I got four videos in this stream, you're still the main focus, because it's the only way we can recreate kind of what's on the radio. And that's when we don't want to be a podcast. We want it to be a community. And when I say we, you guys know Greg, Keith, Kev, like, this isn't a me thing, it's a we thing. And more importantly than all those names, it's you guys. You guys in chat create the we. And there's my main man, Joe, dropping the whole, he drops everything. When we've been doing 8:15, it allows me to not have a nervous breakdown every Wednesday, but it gives us a little bit more time to be adults before we gotta hop on. Wednesday night at 8, but now you know, Sunday at 3. We'll be right back here, twitch.tv/WarRoomPhilly, and we're gonna be talking about the Super Bowl. I'll have a cocktail in hand. We'll be a little more loose. So, guys, it's gonna be a fun one. Next year you gotta be at Radio Row. I mean, that's the dream. That's why we just gotta get a handful of people in here. That's all I ever asked for. But tonight we had it. Get a handful, then you get 2 handfuls. Then we're on Radio Row. Then it's a War Room Philly draft party. So yeah. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in. I cannot wait to be back here on Sunday talking about an Eagles pregame Super Bowl show. Holy shit. And hey, if we got to sneak in a little bit of Sixers talk because they do something crazy, we will. But it's going to be all birds. that being said, guys, thank you so goddamn much for being this little community that we are. With that, again, socials, we're in Philly. You guys know the deal. So, one last time, I am Anthony Pinto, and we are out of here. Let's go, birds!